You have so much more potential inside of you that you are leaving on the table. What's up? It's Rob Cressy. And last week I shared a podcast around creating with pain, where I talked about the back injury that I've been dealing with and how I still had a half marathon coming up a few days later. And what I wanted to do was give you a little recap of what happened in those days. And I'm very proud to say that last Sunday, I completed the Clearwater half marathon put on by the All Day Running Company. It was one of the best races I've ever been a part of. I ran and my back did not hurt. And this is something that I had no idea was going to happen, because 6 days prior, I tried to go on my first run in 3 weeks. I got 6 houses down and I almost had to stop because I was in excruciating pain. So that's where I was less than 1 week before the race. But during the entire time, even when I was dealing with this challenge, I sat there and said, I'm running that race. I'm about to figure out how gritty, what my mental toughness is, what my fortitude is really made of. I saw this as an opportunity for me to take my mindset to the next level. And guess what? I am so thankful that those were the seeds that I planted, and that was the story that I was telling myself. Because, of course, running a half marathon when healthy and trained is still a major challenge. Nonetheless, dealing with a back injury and being half trained at best, that is a very, very big challenge physically as well as mentally. But once I crossed that finish line, I sat there and I was like, man, there is a version of myself or others out there that 1 week out, they said, you know what? I'm not doing the race. I'm not feeling good today. And it would have actually made sense. You're sitting there with an injury, every reason for why you should not do it. Your friends, your family, the doctor. Dude, go ahead and rest. But guess what? You and I are about that one of one lifestyle, and nothing great ever came from your comfort zone. And if you haven't yet, I highly encourage you to read both of David Goggins' books. And the one I read recently, Never Finished. Boom, he talks so much about his mindset of running races through injury, because you find out that there's levels to you inside of you, that you have so much more potential. And I wanted to share this message with you because you are under indexing on your potential, and so am I. And I'm thankful that on Sunday, which was 3 days ago, I proved to myself that, you know what, dude, you have so much more inside of you. So now moving forward, anytime I'm dealing with an injury or a challenge in life, all that is for me is a speed bump and an opportunity to create. Because once you lean into this comfort and you say, you know what, there's something here that I can learn, and I want to create something new about myself, you will continually create new levels to your mindset and your action that will impress yourself. And that's a quote that I love. Impress yourself. If you can do something today, this week, this month, this year, where you look back and you're like, man, I'm impressed that I did that. And you know what? I am impressed that I completed this half marathon. I've run plenty of half marathons before, and I was never worried that I was ever not going to finish them. But this one, when I stepped up to the finish line, I'm like, I don't know how far I'm going to be able to go. And actually in the back of my mind, I was like, there's no way I'm not finishing this. But I really didn't, because there was a scenario where if all of a sudden my back started to spasm and I couldn't move any forward, I was going to have to bow out of the race. But for me, showing up to the start line was the most important thing. I was at least willing to give it a shot. In how many instances of your life are you not showing up to the start line and not giving it a shot? And even more importantly, what is the story that you're telling yourself, the self-talk that you have that stopped you from creating that? Because the story that you get to listen to, that you get to create, is the story of the most powerful version of yourself. So I encourage you to create a self-auditing framework for yourself. And when you notice that your self-talk is getting all noisy and bitchy and it's not serving you and it's living in lack and it's telling you not to do things, ding, ding, ding. This is a light bulb that should be going off in your head that says, wait a second, this is an opportunity. I'm not that person. I want to find out what I am truly made of. And this is something that applies to all areas of our life because we are oftentimes the governor, the thing that stops us from creating the growth that we want. So instead, I encourage you to lean into the challenges, the uncertainty, the pain, the judgment, the difficulty, because that's what the best of the best do. We prepare for what's difficult when it's easy, because there will come a time in your life in which things will be challenging. And then what I want you to do is to show up to that start line and say, let's go. I'm about to find out what I'm made of.